Hi, my name is Dave. Today we're going to determine the center of gravity of the Questar TriStand mount, compare it with some other mounts. Stay tuned, we'll do a little physics. So I here have the head from the TriStand removed from the pier, and I've got this set up on a flat surface so I can measure the center of gravity. And we're going to put a metal rod in here, holding on to everything very carefully. Now, I'm going to have to balance this here, but you can see that this wants to balance. Boy, this is where the center of the pier would be, right about here. This thing is perfect. This thing was clearly designed so that no matter what latitude you're at, this will be balanced. Let's try it at a different latitude just to prove that. I think it's pretty obvious it's going to balance quite well down here. Here we go. It wants to balance right about there, just about the center of the pier. Now let's try it way up. The remarkable innovation and really nifty innovation about this thing is the way they've done that, so that the center of gravity of the entire thing, the center of gravity of the telescope by itself is probably down in here, or over here somewhere, but the center of gravity of the entire system is what's important. Let's see how this comes out. You can see that it's still just about over the center of where the pier would be. Perfect. That's a remarkable innovation. Let's compare that with another mount. This is the Meade 884, and I've removed the legs so that we can just look at the center of gravity of the thing. And I put it on a board. The board doesn't weigh very much, so it won't have any effect on anything. And now we're going to try the same experiments. We're going to determine the center of gravity of this system. I'm not quite so nervous holding this one. I still don't want to drop it though. Now I think you can see the center of the pier, or the center of the tripod in this case, would be right about here, where that bolt head is. And you can see that this thing, at this latitude, this is offset by several inches, maybe 3 or 4 inches. It wants to balance right about there. Okay, now that's at a fairly far northern latitude. As we get to the southern latitude, this is going to be no problem. It's going to be right over the center. Everything's going to work fine as expected. It's right over the center of the tripod. I have to offset a little bit. But I think you can see that wants to balance right about there. Yeah, no sweat there. Now, here comes the good one here. Wait until you see this. We're going to tilt it way back to some far northern latitude. Some extreme latitude. The center of gravity of this whole system is way out there. Clear out there. That's got to be 5 inches. Now there's a leg that sticks out under this that goes way over there. So it's perfectly well supported, at least as long as you keep the mass of the telescope reasonable. If you tried to put a bigger mass on there, you'd have a problem. Anyway, this thing is cantilevered way over there. It's certainly not enough to be a fatal problem with this telescope. It could be a serious problem. I think they put a 5-inch Maksutov on this same mount. The center of gravity is going to be way over here, way over that leg. That's dangerous. That could easily tip over on you. I don't like that one very much. I considered putting my Quantum 4 on this kind of a mount. It's just too far over there. Okay, now I've got the Quantum 4 on this thing. Let's see where it balances now. This is a considerably heavier scope. It's also quite a bit further out here. Let's see where the center of gravity goes now. Well, it's still pretty darn close. It's a little, maybe, oh, it's not much at all. The difference here is, it might be as much as an inch from the center of the pier, but it's not much. It's trying to balance right about there. Yeah, it's not too far off. So that will work just fine. Oh, I wouldn't want to put anything much larger on it. Now let's check what happens with my homemade mount, my homemade wedge. Compare that with the TriStand. In this case, I had to put a piece of 2x4 under here so that I could get away from the fantails, which stick out a little. Anyway, I think, as you can see, it's going to balance. Let me get this straightened out here. Balance is right about there. So this is pretty good for a mid-latitude. This is right over, dead over the top of the tripod. So this is perfect here for the mid-latitude. Let's try it. This is as far north as it will go. Let's see what it looks like. It's moved a little bit, maybe half an inch, maybe an inch. So it's changed by about an inch here. Still, not bad. You might want a slightly larger footprint on your tripod. Easy. Not a problem for this one. I hope you've enjoyed this little video on determining the center of gravity of the Questar TriStand mount. Thank you for watching.